Hello guys, this is Nick from forexfornoobs.com with my midday analysis. If you enjoy this analysis, please hit the like button below and hit the subscribe button below to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more analysis, webinars, and awesome Forex education videos. Before I start, I want to tell you how my analysis works. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I hold a live analysis session. In the analysis, I cover all the pairs I'm currently trading. This is usually 10 to 20 pairs, and I do multi-timeframe analysis on those pairs. Multi-timeframe analysis means that I look at every timeframe I have for each pair. I do not trade all of those timeframes though. I use them for analysis. The only timeframes I actually trade are the 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and daily. The reason I do this is because price action is fluid. Price is always moving. If you look at a single time frame, you are seeing a single snapshot of price, and that can be misleading. By looking at a lot of different time frames, you get more snapshots, which gives you a much clearer idea of what price is doing right now. This also ensures that I rarely miss a trade setup. I do my multi-time frame analysis 2 to 4 times per day, so every 4 to 8 hours. This ensures that I see almost every candle forming, which makes it hard to miss a setup. I only post my analysis to YouTube once per day though, as I cannot record every time I do my analysis. You should remember, I do not find trade setups every time I do analysis. Trade setups are not always there when you want them to be. If I do not find a trade setup in the midday analysis, I might find one in the next analysis I do later in the afternoon or the evening. Trade setups aren't always there when you want them, and just because I'm doing analysis, it doesn't mean I'm going to find a setup. Also, if I do find a setup, remember that these are just potential setups. Not every setup I find is actually going to turn into a trade. Many of these setups will never trigger, or they'll just be cancelled. Just because I say that I'm considering entering a setup, it doesn't mean that the setup will actually trigger. But when they do trigger, I enter them, and I post the updates to my blog, which is linked to below. Finally, you may notice that I sometimes fast forward through parts of this analysis. I do this when I cannot find any setups on the pairs that I'm looking at. It saves you watching 5 minutes of me running through charts and saying there's no setup here. So I'll just fast forward through those boring parts. Anyway, enjoy the analysis. Alright, so today is Wednesday, the 12th of October 2016, and the time is 11:05 here in the UK. You're looking at a EURUSD daily chart. Let's get started. EURUSD is heading down. You didn't really need me to tell you that. It's quite obvious. Nice little trend starting here. But it is not near, well, I guess it's approaching a support area, but it's not on top of a support or resistance area. So it's unlikely that we're going to see anything tradable in terms of the setups we like to take. Yeah, so no reversals forming here. I would keep a very close eye on this level here though. When price approaches this level, I would be expecting at least for it to stall. At least to see a stall at this level, potentially a reversal, but at the very least I would expect a stall at this level. It is a pretty significant level. It hasn't really been below that for a significant amount of time since Brexit. So we had that drop from Brexit, and yeah, it hasn't been below that since. So I would expect some pretty heavy support at this level. So keep an eye on that, but it's not there yet. So no potential setup there. JPY USD, I'm not even going to bother. I'm not really interested in trading JPY at the moment until, well, I don't know, until what? I'd like to say until this Brexit thing is dealt with, but that's going to keep me away from GBP for years. So that's probably not going to be the case. But given last week's move, I'm just going to take a step back from the pound and just see how things develop. Probably won't be looking at trading this for the rest of this week at the very least. I just had this note on here to myself to close out this trade. The EURJPY short we took to close it out by Thursday, because I am not going to be able to trade on Friday. So I put this note here to myself, but obviously the trade's already hit target, so yeah, don't need that anymore. EURJPY trade from last week, from Friday. That worked out quite nicely. It took a while, and I was thinking about exiting for a long time, really, but yeah, the patience paid off, and it came back down and it hit its target. So that was a good trade. Now what we're getting is what looks like a potential, well, I wouldn't say potential bullish reversal, but price is definitely slowing down at support. Price is definitely slowing down at support. Wait, I'm just going to quickly go to the forum. I just want to see if this has been discussed on the forum yet. And I want to see if other people have closed out this trade. Okay. Sizzlard, you are... Oh, you put it on the watch list. Cool, that's what I was looking for. All right, you put it on the watch list. Nice. Not many people have seen that one yet. Okay, never mind. Well, there is a thread already, so please don't post it again. Please don't double post anyone who was thinking about posting that, because there is a post on this one already. But this is definitely something I'm looking at. I mean, it doesn't look that fantastic. Ooh, I would have already triggered on the 8-hour, but yeah, I probably wouldn't have traded it there. Okay, all right. Sorry, I was just taking a look at this, trying to figure out, you know, how I would, if I were to trade it, how I would trade it. So what I'm thinking is, if we can get a good risk to reward ratio on this, I really like these kinds of trades where you catch the short and then it bounces from the next support area and it goes back up. Yeah, risk to reward ratio is kind of okay. I mean, it's a bit tight, but see, ideally, what I was thinking when I started looking at this was we've got a few bounces there, right? So this time it came up and it bounced away from there and it bounced away again. I mean, we did get those wicks poking up, but what's important is price bounced from here. So I kind of don't want to see a repeat of that. See where it bounces from here. Even on its way down, it showed that we have some minor support resistance here. So like through here, we definitely have this area where it's going to be a problem, right, for price to break through this area. Now, it could very well happen like it happened here, where it comes up, it spikes up, and then it goes back down. And that would mean that our trade would be closed out and it would be a successful trade. But it could also happen that price comes to here, it doesn't spike up and it bounces away. So ideally, I want to hit that 1.5 target around about down here. You know, as price starts getting into this area where it's possible for it to be affected, but we're not going to get that target at that point. We're going to get it up here. So it's one of those trades that kind of starts verging. It kind of starts getting a bit risky. If I were to enter this one, I'm thinking I'd probably enter on a retrace, to be honest. If price doesn't keep moving down, which it definitely looks possible right now that it's just going to keep moving down, but let's say theoretically price doesn't keep moving down, comes up and breaks that and then pulls back down a little bit, I'll enter on that retrace. But yeah, other than that, I'm probably gonna skip this one. I still have to run it through my risk analysis just to make sure, but I'm doing the numbers in my head right now and I'm pretty sure that this is just going to be something we skip. Well, I skip anyway. For you, it's obviously up to you how you want to trade it. Yeah, exactly. That's why multi-time frame analysis is important. If you entered on the 8 hour, you would definitely have jumped the gun on this one. This one, it was important to go up to the 12 hour. So it's a good thing you did. Because had you entered on the 8 hour, this could very well turn into a loser, because it does look like it's continuing to move down. So because you waited for the 12 hour, you've saved yourself from what potentially might end up being a losing trade had it been traded on the wrong time frame on the 8 hour. But also, if this does turn around and, well, actually no. See, what I was going to say was, if this does turn around and start pushing up, you're going to get a very similar entry. But in this specific case, I don't think you will. I think you would have got a much better entry on the... actually, no. Yeah, you would have gone in about 8 pips earlier. So it's not that much different, actually. But yeah, the point I was trying to make is that it pays to wait, because usually when you wait, when you see something forming on the higher time frame and you wait for that higher time frame, you end up getting in at around about the same price. You know, maybe not exactly, but within a few pips. And it reduces the chances of getting into a losing trade, because small time frames are less reliable. But yeah, this indecision candle is not the best. It's just a bit too big. It messes up our risk to reward ratio. But whatever. I'm going to keep a close eye on this, because it's still okay to enter this as a small retrace. We'll just see how it plays out. I'll keep a close eye on it, but I'm not terribly excited over this, because it does look like sellers are in control and they're going to continue pushing down. We just have to give it time and see how, what happens here with this candle. Specifically, another potential situation is obviously this candle becomes indecision. So what would happen would be this candle would close something like this, something like that, roughly, and that would actually be a pretty decent situation for us, because we could set our entry up here or something like that, stop loss here, and then we might, maybe not, but anyway. The point is, keep a close eye on EURJPY. That's the point I'm trying to make. Keep a close eye on EURJPY. This could develop into a trade, but right now it's a little bit iffy. It looks like sellers are continuing to push down. We just need to see if buyers are gonna hold out and turn this this little bearish trend around. All right, USDCHF. Let's see what's happening there. Ooh, that looks good. All right. So, yeah, USDCHF, it's looking pretty decent. This is a pretty significant area of resistance. It's had these two major bounces going back to, May. Last time it was above here was March. So, yeah, it's hitting major resistance right now. Major resistance. And we're seeing indecision. So this is, your classic kind of counter trend reversal. Is this counter trend? It looked to be counter trend. Yeah, it is counter trend. That doesn't matter. Counter trend reversals are really high probability anyway. So let's see how this one looks with a the target's a bit tough on this. Sorry, the stop loss is a bit tough on this one. It's always tough when you have a indecision candle forming towards the bottom. So you're looking to take a short trade, right? And the indecision candle is forming towards the bottom of the resistance area. It's always tough to get a good stop loss on that because your instinct tells you to put your stop loss up here, even though it's a really long way from the high of that indecision candle. Having a stop loss, you know, somewhere up there, something like that, is a lot safer because it's on the other side of this resistance area. When you place a stop loss, the whole idea behind that stop loss is you want that stop loss to be hard to hit. You don't want it to be easy for buyers to push up, hit your stop loss, and then turn around, because then you're going to get stopped out of a trade which would have ended up being successful. So you want to make your stop loss hard to hit. That's the key to a good stop. So having it down here is not exactly hard to hit. Sure, it's above the recent high, and obviously highs and lows, wait, let's zoom in a bit. Obviously highs and lows are important, so you want it above the recent high, but it's still not that safe a stop loss because it's at the bottom of the resistance area. So it's not that hard for buyers to push up a little further into this resistance area because there isn't very much resistance to stop them. So, you know, ideally when you're in a situation like this, you want to pull your stop loss up a little bit, to the higher side of the resistance area. Now with this one, like ideally I would want it there. So let's see. Honestly, ideally I would want it up here, somewhere like there at that previous high, but that's unrealistic. And if you try to place your stops there every time, you're never going to get into an actual trade. So I'm just going to place my stop well within the resistance area. So, towards the top side of resistance. Place my stop there. Yeah, let's do it like that. So I've got my stop loss there, and that's going to give me a risk to reward ratio of 2.3 if I let it go down to the next support area, which is actually pretty decent. I mean, this trade setup is actually, yeah, it looks pretty good. We do have some minor support resistance there, but it's not really that scary, that minor support resistance area. Maybe. Let's wrap this analysis up. I'm sorry if this analysis was a little bit all over the place. I was jumping around from thing to thing. So let's just do a quick summary. And let's finish this up. So we got Euro AUD, potential long reversal here. Candle hasn't closed yet, but when this candle closes in around about 10 hours, 17 minutes, it could give us a nice potential setup. So right now we're just waiting for that candle to close. EURJPY, similar thing. 10 hours, 17 minutes until this 12-hour candle closes. So we don't have anything solid right now, but if this candle closes as it is now, might be a potentially good setup. We'll just see how this one plays out. Or this could also be entered potentially on the daily if it breaks up here and then retraces. So I'm looking at this on both the daily and the 12-hour. I'll keep you guys updated on the forum as to what I do with that trade, with that potential trade anyway. USDCHF, again, we are waiting for the candle to close. All the setups today, we're waiting for candles to close. So that's going to be in about 10 hours, 17 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. So this one looks pretty decent too. We've got, it's a potential short reversal. We got indecision forming on resistance. And finally, we've got, AUD New Zealand. Now this one, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. I mean, that bullish move looks pretty strong. It looks like it's going to break through this resistance area. But there are some very, very small signs that price is slowing down a little bit here. So do keep an eye on that. But that one's not that important. The ones I'm mostly looking at are Euro AUD for a potential long, EURJPY for a potential long, and USDCHF for a potential short. Keep an eye on these candles, see how they close, and that these one of these three or all of these three might give us some decent trades. So that wraps it up for the analysis, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up below. If you have any questions regarding this video, then leave a comment below and I'll respond to it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get notified as soon as I upload my videos. My Facebook and Twitter are in the description below. Thanks again for watching and happy trading.